about as solid an all-around effort, I thought. I mean, they got some chances, but you guys got sticks on shots, or Steven made great saves, but it just seemed that about as good a control for 60 minutes as you could hope for.
Yeah, we really talked about trying to be stingy defensively tonight. You know, they activated two really good forwards in their lineup. Of course, they also got Brendan Susi that we waived last week. That is a good offensive forward. So Susi, Rose, and then Brian Bowen in the lineup is a lot more firepower than what they've had the last couple times we played them. So, you know, we knew that they would be excited with that lineup and opportunistic offensively, trying to feel good with that lineup coming into our rink. And so knowing that, you know, we really talked about trying to win the game defensively tonight, and really be stingy, good sticks, you know, quick to check, take away time and space from them, try to get more physical on them. And I thought we did a good job of that. You know, really, I thought the game really summed up in the second period, and it was about the momentum shifts. You know, in the second period, early on, we weren't very good. They made a big push early on in the second period, and we weren't very good. They were way better than us, and Dinger just was huge for us. He made some big saves for us. And then you see when Mirzi had that goal, and how when we got the chance to build momentum, we really seized it. And you could see kind of bang, bang, bang. We scored a few goals and really took the crowd and kind of used it as momentum. And I thought we did a really good job with that. Special teams, of course, played a big part. You know, if you can win the goaltending battle and you can win a special teams battle and check well defensively, you're usually going to have a good night.
Gary, Mears was one of three guys that scored their first goal this season. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that. Obviously, Dante got you off started with his goal, and Mears and God, who am I forgetting?
Malik.
Malik.
Yeah.
God, Malik. I thought he had scored, but I thought he had scored before tonight. But Malik. Just talk about those three guys getting their first goal and the depth that you have there.
We actually talked about it after the game. That was one of the first things I said. You know, we got really some secondary scoring tonight from some guys that, frankly, we haven't gotten it from this year. So whenever you see three players do the classic goal celebration where they take the monkey and throw him off the back into the stands, you know, usually you see that maybe once a game, but you had three guys basically that scored tonight that, you know, it was basically felt like, hey, listen, this has been waiting a while for this thing to come. So I know Dante has really been snake bit, you know, as a forward that plays a lot, plays on the power play. Bright young player, good future ahead of him. You know, played in the ECHL last year out of college, and then now he's down here. And I think sometimes those guys, you know, when they come to this level, they expect it to happen for them right away offensively. And it's a tough league, man. It's a good league, and I think he's finding that out. He's been working his tail off, getting shots. You know, he's got a heck of a shot, and to see him finally get rewarded on the power play of that was really good. And of course, the goal from Mirzi, you know, was a great entry set up by Combs, by Daly, and really good poise on the entry, and what a shot that was. And again, like I said, that came in during a time in a game where really they kind of had the momentum going. The ice was a little tilted in Birmingham's favor, and I thought it was just that play right there, that goal really set us up to kind of get our momentum going, and then it was able to carry us through the rest of the game.
Yeah, that was really the first rush I think you had in that whole period, at that point in the period, and he buried that shot. And yeah, I mean, they had controlled. You know, a lot of times you were struggling just to get the puck out of your zone down there.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't really get anything set up. And then boom, he comes down on the right side.
We in the second period, at the beginning of the period, we try to be too cute with the puck, breaking pucks out, and they just got all over us. And then the other thing too is we got on the wrong side of some long shifts and some icings. And that's how you lose momentum. So a lot of times you had some D-zone face-offs where you had tired guys out there. I mean, I think one time we had some personnel out there that might have been on the ice for 2 straight minutes that were dog-tired, you know. So we didn't do a good job at the beginning of the second period. About the first 8 minutes, we weren't very good. But then I thought the back half of the period, we were really good and able to carry that into the third.
Dante's goal, and his. You talked about we need to get goals in the crease. Little, you know, greasy, ugly goals, and that was sort of a classic.
It was.
From a guy who I guess is like Scott, highly skilled scorer.
Yeah.
We've seen that a lot this year. So.
Well, look at how Brett scores all of his points. I mean, I think he's the top scorer in the league. This guy goes to the net like crazy, and he's not the biggest guy. I mean, watch 17. I mean, he is around the net he's Johnny on the spot all the time. And, that's an instinct thing with forwards, and that's what I keep showing them in video, and I keep telling my forwards, like, guys, you want to get points, you go to this area right here, hang around this area, be ready when the puck comes there. And, again, the one goal he scored was just, again, highly opportunistic in the right area, right time. And again, Malik and, all the goals I thought had a good place. I thought the power play before Zapata scored our first unit, we had some great power play looks. I mean, some of the goals, I don't know how we didn't score on. I thought we could have had at least 2 power play goals tonight. But and then again on the penalty kill, we had some great shot blocks from some defensemen that really laid out and really sacrificed, because they got some guys that can really shoot the puck on the outside, and Bowen and Rose. And if they get pounding pucks on the outside, it can be tough for a goaltender when they got big traffic in front. So our D did a good job on the penalty kill too.
Gary, they had 4,500 plus tonight.
4584.
I think I might be wrong, but I think this might have been the largest pre-Thanksgiving night Wednesday crowd that you've had that I can remember. Typically, it isn't a game that draws a huge turnout because it's not on a weekend. But what about that? The energy that you've had really all season at home with these crowds, but tonight really showed up, I think, to fill the lower bowl on a Wednesday night.
Well, again, it's the work that Greg and the crew over there in the front office put in. I can't take credit. I don't sell tickets. It's one of the few things I don't do. But Greg hasn't come to me with that yet, so I think I could help boost sales if he put that on my if he put it on my table. I think I could sell a few extra tickets. But no, they do a great job. And again, the thing is, it's a fun team to watch. It's a good group of guys. And I think, when the fans connect with the group and they connect with the identity of the team, there's more excitement that happens. I bumped into several people around town, even where I live at. And, that come recently to their first game, and the excitement on their face. And, we want to get season tickets. We want to come back, So, down south, you have the typical hockey fans, but then you have the fans that might be the first time people. And if you have a good product on the ice, it's very easy to fall in love with the game, because the product is so much more fun when you're watching it as opposed to watching on TV, So I think a lot of fans are doing that. I think that's where kind of some of that momentum from the ticket sales is probably coming from. It's a fun team to watch.
I know Caden got an opportunity today to go to Savannah, ECHL. Mundinger's been to ECHL. What about, Mundinger now? I know he'll be your goaltender probably Friday night as well when you go back to Birmingham. But what have you seen out of him so far this season?
Well, again, he's when I watched the film on him during the summer, there wasn't a lot of film on him because he hasn't played it very much at all. And but he had a bunch of practice goalie footage. And this is the one thing that helps me, just because my son's a goalie and I'm around these goalie coaches all the time during the summer. And I watched his skill sessions, and he was doing very challenging goalie drills for a big guy. And I was watching his movement, and I'd watch him in these drills, and I'm like, these are decent shooters. I'm like, he's moving as a 6'8" guy really well. I'm like, you don't see this often. I mean, at all, basically. I haven't seen it, at least. So, and then you look at his resume, it's like, oh God, why has this guy been playing? What am I missing here? This looks right. So as a coach, you start second guessing yourself, because signing goalies is a big deal. During the summer, you want to make sure you get the right ones. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, coaching colleagues and stuff, challenged my thought process with Dinger. But I kept watching it, and I said, listen, this guy can play. I'm telling you, this guy's going to be a good goalie. You don't see 6'8" guys that move like this. And, Jason Payne in Cincinnati's had him in back-to-back training camps, and he's always done good in the ECHL camps. So for Dinger, it was just about getting the net, playing games this year. And we're just ecstatic to have him. I mean, obviously, we love Cade, we love Dinger. We've got a really good group of guys in that room, but the goalies are special for sure.
You don't have any sort of agreement that they both, like either one or the other, can be here, and that if they both get called up, they both get called up.
My job is to win games and promote guys, and that's what this level's all about. And I'm very excited when I do get that opportunity.
How will your players spend Thanksgiving? Do you know what are they all going to go to one home, or?
Yeah. Greg did something nice for them. The guys all went grocery shopping yesterday as a team. I would have loved to seen that. they filled the carts up and got the stuff. They're all going to be making their own food and cooking their own meals, and some good football games on tomorrow. So yeah, they're all going to be at the same house. So be a great team bonding thing for them tomorrow.
That's great.
Yeah.
That they did that, so they'll all be together, and that's cool.
Yep.
And then also, I got to ask you about Bondarenko. He had a gender reveal. Unfortunately, I missed it. I was trying to get a soft pretzel. I didn't even know what was going on, but tell me about that. You knew about it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we were excited. Originally, the plans were just like for him to be out there with the wife and like be more with the fans. And I was like, no, we all want to be out there for him, like the team. Like we want to see what it is too, right? And cheer him on and stuff like that. So I thought that was a cool moment. And again, all the years I've coached, never been a part of that. So that's always cool. You see be a part of something. And 2 for 2 boys.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Another hockey player maybe running around the rink.
Yeah.
We got Alex running around, his little guy, and then of course we got they'll be fun to see another little one running around.
That was one of the things, preseason you kind of were talking, obviously, the speed and the physicality of these teams, and we're absolutely seeing it. I mean, you touched on it, and sitting there watching, it's just such a fun team to watch this year. And then you also kind of tapped on a week or two ago, kind of that team building and really getting these guys more together than ever before. And I think we see that as well. Can you talk more on that team building and just how this team is all coming together as one unit instead of, I remember in years past, you kind of had like 2, maybe 3 groups. This just seems like one group of Pensacola Ice Flyers.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different feel from last year's team, talking to the captains. And, as a coach, I know Rod believes the same thing as I always did, just trying to keep the team close-knit. But last year, with the way the housing was set up, it was they were kind of far apart. Half the team was over here, half the team, there was 25, maybe 30 miles between the groups. So, that can get cliquey, and because you got guys are hanging out over in this place, and guys are hanging out over here. Well, now this year, that was one thing when I took the job, and Greg did a really good job with the housing, is we have them all back kind of originally the way Rod and I used to have it, is where they're all kind of in a centralized place. So they're at each other's houses all the time. They're hanging out all the time together, and that's what you want, because again, a team that hangs out together and does things together a lot off the rink, they're so much more tighter. They battle harder for each other on the rink, and they're able to problem solve during real time better. And again, it's most importantly, it's a trust. They get to trust each other more. So I think that's a lot of fun to watch, this year. And like I said, even in some of our losses this year, I've been really proud of the guys and how they've kind of backed each other up and battled for each other. So it's a young season. Obviously, the league, that we're going to deal with roster movement and all that stuff. But as of right now, the captains and the older guys are doing a good job of keeping the group tight.